Yeah.
Well, hello there. Welcome to the live stream for this week. And as we normally do, we talk about what we've been watching. So, what have you been watching, Luke?
What have I been watching? So, again, I'm continuing on my journey of watching movies. I'm up to 78 movies, I think I told you before. New movies I've seen this week. I saw Twisters in cinema. I saw Twisters in cinema. I saw the Despicable Me 4. I think that was the week prior. I watched... I'll have to check. I can't remember. I've seen so many things, it's hard to keep track of what I've been watching. Recent movies. Why don't you fill us in? What have you been watching? Plus, I work this out.
I've been watching, just finished a show on Stan in Australia. I don't know what it would have been on in Britain, but it was called Killing the Kind. And it's the premise is that this female is the defense brimister, or I would assume is the defense attorney, and she has lost her friend, and she is basically trying to work out if her friend was killed or if it was an accident. So it's a mystery thriller. It was okay. It was quite convenient with how she always was able to do things better than how the police would be able to. And when I watch shows like these, I always wonder, what would a police officer think when he or she would watch this type of show? Because to me, the writers always make out that police officers are either really bad at their job or the other person is better than they are at their job. Like, for one example, the lawyer and the ex-fiance went to the uni school, and they actually were able to convince the uni teacher to give them ID, even though they're not police officers, and it in real circumstances that actually wouldn't happen. So things like that. Yeah, that's the other thing that I watch.
Okay, so movies, I saw The Bike Riders. I saw the Beverly Hills Cops Axel F on Netflix. I watched Space Cadet on Amazon Prime. I watched... anything down the bottom? A Family Affair. I think I talked about that last week. And what else is it? Movies... seen Inside Out 2 recently. That may have been the week before. Twisters, as mentioned. Hitman. Despicable Me 4. So quite a few things. What's the best thing you've seen this week?
The best thing? Oh, that's a tricky one. The thing that has sticking out the most? Probably... Presumed Innocence.
Presumed Innocence. So that's a show we're both watching. It's on Apple TV.
Yeah.
Plus, both loving that series.
Oh, we got a comment.
Yeah. So, hey DJ, Family of Nerds, how's it going? So yeah, we're both watching Presumed Innocence. Jake Gyllenhaal stars in this film, this limited series.
Well, it was a film originally in a book.
Check out our mid-season review on that. We've got 2 episodes to go. You're thinking about binge watching the last 2 to avoid the cliffhangers?
Yeah, Mum's sick of them.
I probably won't. I'll watch them as they come out. So yeah, we've both been watching that. So that's the best thing you've been watching. Best thing I've watched in movies this week, I think Twisters. I really like Twisters. I wasn't expecting much of this film.
Other comment.
There we go. Favorite thing this week was the new House of Dragons episode. You need to catch up on Presume. Thoughts? Do you watch House of Dragons?
Haven't started it yet, and I'm a bit scared because of how Game of Thrones finished. I've heard it's not that good of an ending, but might give House of the Dragons a go. Are you going to give House of Dragons a go?
No, I not don't.
No
care.
deal.
I don't care whatsoever about anything Game of Thrones related. I don't enjoy that show whatsoever, so I'm definitely not going to be watching any spin-offs to that.
Fair enough.
So yeah, Twisters. So thoroughly enjoyed Twisters. Premise is a bit, you got severe weather, twisters occurring. It's a bit far-fetched, but it just kind of works. I like it. Glenn Powell really kills it in this movie. I know he does kind of play the same person in all his films, but it just works. I like how he's going with that. So I thought it was a good film, and it made me think about this year, heading towards us giving out our awards at the end of the year for our favorite actors or the best actors. I don't think any of his performances are the best performances I've seen this year, but if I look through my top 10 list of films at the moment, he's got 3 movies in the top 10. So,
really?
So in terms of content, he's ahead of all the other actors and actresses that I've been seeing in films for this year. So he's kind of the guy at the moment. What's the worst thing you've seen this week, if any?
The worst thing,
certainly was a good time at the movies. I think it's worth seeing in the movies because of the cinematic experience being the big screen, the big sound. So definitely worth seeing in the movies. As I said, the movie's not groundbreaking. You don't leave there thinking or questioning your existence, but it was just fun. It was a fun time. It didn't drag on. So it's definitely worth watching. It's I don't think anyone's going to hate it, but maybe no one will love it. Okay, sorry to cut you off. Just answering the question.
That's okay. The question is more important. I haven't watched this week, but I'm sorry to say the Arclight.
Arclight, you're just assuming the next episode's going to be garbage based upon the others?
Actually, episode 5 was really good, but that was only because of the lightsaber fight. But to me, story is more important than action.
Yeah, I'm hearing mixed reviews about Arclight. You're not enjoying it. I'm hearing other people that are liking it. So I don't know. I'm not big. I don't love Star Wars enough to want to dabble into every spin-off. I'll watch every movie. There's no doubt about that. But some of the spin-off shows I've kind of given a miss unless I've heard really, really good things. So
what's your worst
thing I've seen this week? Haven't seen any bad TV. It's all been movies mainly this week.
You said the Bike Riders was pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Bike Riders. Not that it was a horrible movie, but it's the worst movie I saw this week. I actually seen a bunch of decent quality movies and a couple of okay. So, no, actually, I'm gonna say Space Cadet was worse than the Bike Riders. At least I'll give the Bike Riders credit for being artistic and having a star cast. Space Cadets had Emma Roberts star in it. The premise is okay. She was intelligent at school, always wanted to be an astronaut. Her mother got sick as she was about to go to college, so she didn't go on to fulfill her dreams. Her friends lie on her resume, and she gets a shot at going to astronaut camp. So she does all the astronaut training and, gets found out for it and then has to deal with the consequences. It's got a few okay laughs in it, but it's a very much a cheesy kind of movie that it's definitely a straight to streaming movie. Let's put it that way. So that was not a bad movie, but the worst one I saw this week. So probably like out of the 76 movies I've seen this year, it's probably around the 50 mark. So it's not right down the bottom, but it was okay. You could definitely get away with not seeing this film.
For the people watching, what's been your favorite thing and worst thing of the week?
Oh, so the worst thing was, as I just said, Space Cadet, and the best thing was Twisters.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also for the audience, if you want to comment.
Oh, you want them to comment? Yeah, so comment what the best and worst thing you've seen. Sorry, I thought you were asking. I was like, I just answered that question.
No, the audience.
Okay, so that's the best and worst thing I've seen. In terms of TV, I've been watching The Boys. So looking forward to the finale next week. Been watching Presumed Innocence, as you mentioned before. We're both watching, and got a lot of things coming out this week that I want to see. So probably knock off 3 or 4 movies in the next week coming out. So there's been a lot of releases so far in the last week or so. So excited about that. So that's kind of what we've been watching. Should we? We didn't end up deciding. We're going to review an older movie, because we haven't each seen a movie that like recently that like we've both seen? So
Mm.
this week you're going to see Twisters, so I guess
Yeah.
we can review Twisters next week.
On Monday, yeah.
My early prediction of Twisters, then I'm thinking it's for me maybe like 4 stars. Quality wise, it's about a 3.5 out of 5, but experience and the fact that I would rewatch it again, I'm going to bump it up to about a 4. But it's not a 4-star quality; it was just a 4-star experience, if that makes sense. So we can give a more thorough review of Twisters when you see it and see what we think. In terms of releases this week, as I said, there's a few things coming out.
Yeah.
We got Longlegs coming out, which I believe is a movie about a campus serial killer, and it has Nicolas Cage in it, who weirdly said that he got inspiration for this role from his mother. I didn't read the article. I just saw the headline. I'm like, that's a bit odd. So there's probably a bit more to that. But yeah, so we've got Longlegs coming out. Sting. Have you seen any trailers of this movie, Sting?
No, I haven't.
It looks so ridiculous. It's this concept of that there's like this spider. This girl gets a spider and she like feeds it and it just grows really big. And it's a horror film where they're getting killed by this spider.
I actually have seen a trailer for that. Yeah.
It looks ridiculous. It looks so stupid. Like I just can't believe it. So I saw the full length trailer for that yesterday when I went to see Twisters. I'm like, this movie looks so trash. Like, I can't see how anyone could enjoy this. So that comes out next week in cinemas in Australia. I think it might already be out internationally. I saw it online somewhere to watch. We got The Boys season finale, so the 8th episode. 7 through so far. Don't really know where the season is going to end. I feel like not much has happened yet, so might be a jam-packed finale. Presumed Innocence, the penultimate episode, so we've got 2 more to go. So this will be the second last. And yes, coming out next week. So that's about it. A few movies I would like to see. Is there any movies that are coming out that are already out that you plan to see in the near future?
I was hoping to see Quiet Place Day 1, but don't know if my friends group wants to see that. But I don't know if it's worth seeing by yourself, because I've heard from people that it's a movie that's better. You don't need to rush to see it at the cinemas, so it's better probably just to wait to see it when it's on streaming.
Yeah, I think you could wait to see it till it's on streaming. And then you're not going to go see Despicable Me 4?
No.
You think you'll watch that when it comes to streaming?
No. I've only seen the first one, and I haven't seen the number 2 and number 3.
I'll probably rewatch it with my family this time. So I think it's okay. Things I'm looking forward to come that are out that I wish I had more time to go see more movies. I want to see Maxine, movie that's got Halsey the singer in it. I believe it's about like a 80s film star. So she's an adult film star, but she wants to move into mainstream film, and it surrounds some kind of serial killer. So it just looks gripping and it looks dark and moody. So I want to see that. I'd like to go see, which I'm going to go see on the weekend, Fly Me to the Moon. And I think there was one other movie out that I'm looking forward to seeing that Horizon, an American Saga. Heard mixed things about this, but I would like to go see it. But I think I probably missed the boat, so I might have to wait till that comes out to streaming to see Kevin Costner's new
franchise.
Yeah, apparently there's going to be 4 parts to this, and it's a 3-hour movie, the first part, so it's going to be long. There's a few things coming out. We're going to move into a trailer reaction. When you were at cinemas last, you seen any new trailers? Anything that we haven't reacted to yet that you're excited about?
Well, I was watching Inside Out 2, and
it got kids trailers.
Yeah. So there was one trailer that was about a dog doing like dog Olympics.
Okay, I didn't see that trailer.
But besides that, no.
What made me think about that yesterday? So we reacted to Trap. We watched the trailer for Trap, didn't we? Or do we react? Or we just watched it.
We just watched it.
We just watched it, and we're watching it and we're thinking, "Oh, what's this?" You get the concept of what's it about, but you're like, "How can this last?" Because it's like 2.5 hours or something. I saw a longer trailer for it yesterday when I was at Twisters, so it makes a bit more sense now. So it might be worth you checking out. But in the longer trailer, essentially he catches. Well, you see in the original, he asks the guy like, "Oh, what's the deal with all the police here and all that?" And he goes, "Oh, well, they're trying to catch the butcher," and then you're like, "Okay, well, what's gonna happen here?" In the longer trailer, it shows him trying to escape. So he works now that he's on to what's going on. He's trying to find a way to escape out of the building without being caught. So I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Looking forward to seeing that in the world of M. Night Shyamalan. So so that was a cool trailer reaction. Cool trailer that I saw. That was a bit longer than the original one we saw. So what are you going to do trailer reaction of?
Gladiator 2.
So the first Gladiator, classic film, came out 20, 30 years ago now. For a while. Can't say I remember exactly what happened, but I remember iconic scenes. I was a kid when this came out.
Me too, yeah.
Maybe, depending on how this trailer goes, might rewatch it before the next one comes out. But let's get into it. Check it out.
Yeah.
No, we got that'll do.
I remember that day. I never forgot it. A slave could take revenge against an emperor.
Where were you born?
I don't know. I never knew a mother nor a father.
You will be my instrument.
Who are you?
Wow.
Did you hear that crowd? The greatest temple Rome ever built. The Colosseum. Because this is what they believe in. Power.
General Acacius, there are victories yet still to come.
Rome has so many subjects. She must feed them.
They can eat war.
The arena turns slaves into gladiators, the gladiators into free men.
You have something in you. I knew it from the start.
Did you now?
Rage. That rage is your gift.
This is about survival! Survive! Hold together, and when it charges, break for the wall.
Whose head could I give you that would satisfy this fury?
The entire Roman armies.
Too much.
The general will do.
Rome must fall. I need to only give it a push.
We'll make it out alive. All right. Tears on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Colosseum door.
This ring belonged to Maximus. Now I give it to you. What is the dream of Rome? The people are not free.
I was owned. Now I will control an empire.
I will not waste another generation of young men for their vanity.
Strength among us! This is how Rome treats its heroes!
Tears on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Colosseum doors.
The gods of
What?
Is it cool? What do you think?
Looks good. What do you think?
I think it looks good. I don't know if the story is going to be as epic as it wants to, like they're trying to make it out in that trailer, but I do think it'll be a worthy movie to watch, and I think it deserves a cinematic experience for sure. So looking forward to it. I'm not expecting it. I'm not going to put high expectations on it because I think it will disappoint if I do. So I'm going to go in there open-minded. What do you think?
I think it's going to have epic action scenes and visually look impressive. The story might not hit the mark, but I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's cool. I guess it's a movie I guess they've probably been talking about for a while, and I've only recently started to hear about this Gladiator sequel, and then it's coming out this year, so we don't even have to wait that long for it. So it's pretty exciting. Okay, so that's our trailer reaction. So in terms of entertainment news, some of the things. So one of your favorite Apple TV shows has been announced. Their second season finally is coming out.
Yeah.
What is it?
Next year, January 17th.
Yeah, what show is it though?
Severance.
So I haven't finished Severance. I've watched a couple episodes of it. I did enjoy it. I just I've got to go back to it. So I've just been busy, but I think I'll have to binge watch that before the next season comes out because I've heard really good things about Severance.
It's worth doing.
So that's exciting. We've got we saw another Apple TV show, Bad Monkey, who's starring in Bad Monkey.
Vince Vaughn.
It's interesting, Vince Vaughn. I was only thinking yesterday, I hadn't seen Vince Vaughn in anything for a while, and he kind of had his moment in the 2010s, I reckon, starring in a lot of comedy films. But he's just like, I don't know, dope. Like, just I haven't seen him in anything. So it's funny that pops up now after me only thinking that yesterday. So Bad Monkey, Shrek 5, 2026, and you said there's a spin-off too.
Yeah, donkey movie.
I wasn't even aware they'd made 4 Shreks. I like Shrek. I thought there was 3. I did not know there was 4 Shrek films. So.
Yeah, there's 4.
So bringing out a 5th, that is very cool. I saw that the final movie of the Conjuring franchise is going to be, it's been set to come out in fall 2025 next year. So I don't know what fall is, what month that is for us. Fall's different in America. So some stage next year we're getting the final of the Conjuring. There's a few of them. There's like the Amityville Horror show. There's the Nun movies. So yeah, there's quite a few in that kind of I guess it's like the realm of like exorcisms. So horror buffs will be excited about that because it's been a very successful franchise.
Do you think it's actually the final one, or they're saying that and they'll do reboots and stuff like that?
Don't know if they'll do reboots. It's a bit odd that you'd claim it's the finale and then continue to do more. Seems like an odd choice, but it happens. Shelley Duvall died this morning at the age of 75 due to complications of diabetes. So she was famously in the Shining movie. So I have not seen the Shining movie, but I have heard of Shelley Duvall. So Hollywood icon passed away today. And then what else to see that we're talking about the Horizon movie that I wanted to see. So it's one of 4 parts, and the second part was meant to come out in August, it said, and now it's been pushed back. And the thought is that they want to give people a chance to see this movie on streaming and give it a chance, which is fair. It's a 3-hour film that got pulled from cinemas pretty quickly, so maybe it needs that chance to get a second life on streaming before you pump out the second film and people really don't want to watch it. So not a bad choice. Okay, well, that's the things we'd written down to do. Is there any topics or things you want to watch or talk about or discuss?
I guess, do you think it's worth discussing about the decline of movies, why people don't want to go to the decline in people going to movies?
Yeah, okay. What are your thoughts on that? What's your theory of why you think that movies, if they are in fact struggling, like, do you have an opinion on this or a theory?
I think it's because that people haven't got as much money and time as they used to, and also, there's quite a lot of movies and people a lot more, choosing these days, and there's streaming as well, so there's quite a lot of factors.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of factors. I guess I don't know for sure that the movie industry is struggling, but I do often hear of reports that, like I haven't seen cinemas closing down or less movies coming out or anything to support that, but maybe they're just not making the record profits they were making before. So I've been hearing like reports of that. So I guess my thought on that is probably one, you've got the cost of living. People don't have as much money, so they're going to be, the cinemas is not a cheap experience.
No.
So people are probably, saving their money to go and see the movie that they really want to see. They're not just going for the sake of it. I think, before where it'd be like, oh, here's something we can just go do to waste time. You go, well, that's a lot of money just to waste time. Better not. Let's go do something else. So we've got that. We've probably got the streaming factor. People are like, well, I'll just wait. I'll just wait for streaming. Oh, I'm busy. Oh, yeah, this movie just came out. Oh, well, I don't have any time this week. Oh, what about next week? Well, I'm actually busy. It's like, oh, well, now it's finished at the movies. Oh, we'll be on streaming in 2 months. Just wait then. So I think like people aren't in a rush where, I remember you used to wait. I don't know if it was a year, but it felt like a year. By the time a movie was at the cinemas, it was about another year before it came out on DVD or VHS. It may not have been that long, but it felt like it. So when you saw a movie, it almost got two lives. You'd go see a movie at the cinemas. You go, wow, that's so good. I love it. I can't wait for it to come out. And then when the video store would get it or it would become available to buy at the shop, you'd want to rush out to get it because you want to see that movie again. You've been waiting. There's been enough time in between the first time you saw it to miss it. Where now, I heard that A Quiet Place is going to be on Amazon Prime in the next 2 weeks or something.
Oh, the day one.
Day one, like really quickly. So it's like, well, why would I want to go watch that a second time now? I only just watched it. There's not enough time to miss it or for it to have that, that factor. So yeah, I think maybe there's a bit of that. People are waiting for streaming or they're just bombarded with too many options. And then I guess maybe the third factor is people have short attention spans now. I think we have like TikTok brain where people are used to watching videos that are only 30 seconds long. So movies are just, people struggle to keep the attention for a movie. So the thought of sitting in a movie theaters, I think some people I couldn't think of anything worse where they're like, I'll watch it at home because I can sit on my phone and half watch it or I can stop and I can go I can watch it whilst I'm having dinner. And, I just think the movie theaters is only an experience that only really people go that have got plenty of time or they enjoy the experience or you just want to get an escape from the world just to go sit there. For me, I love it. I love the idea you go into a cinemas and sometimes you come out and it's like the world's changed. Seriously, you go in and it'll be a sunny day and you come out and it's bucketing down raining and you're like I was just, it's like you're in a time portal for that 2 or 3 hours and anything could have happened. So I enjoy the experience of the cinemas, or I think other people might dread that. So there's some factors I think as to why movies are probably not doing too well. I also heard someone say to me the other day that they think that these straight to streaming movies are giving movies a bad name. People are seeing these rubbish movies coming out on Netflix and going, well, that's the quality of movies these days. I'm not interested. Plus, I think the quality of TV's improved a lot.
Yeah.
I think where TV once was seen as,
The downgrade.
It was seen as if you were a TV actor, you wanted to progress your career and make it to Hollywood and be in movies. Where now you see TV shows, it's full of Hollywood actors.
Yeah.
Admittedly, some of them may be kind of finished their movie career and they're gone back to TV, or that's their bread and butter. But I think TV is not that case anymore. You think of some people that have been in shows this year, like Pedro Pascal is probably one of the hottest properties in movies right now. And he's the star of The Mandalorian and The Last of Us, two of the biggest shows in the last few years. And he's also the star of Hollywood blockbusters. So it's he's doing both. People are not just going, well, when you're in TV, you don't do anything else. Where in the past, that was the case. The guys in Friends, most of them didn't start doing films to right towards the end of their time in Friends. They were kind of like locked to Friends. The guys from The Big Bang Theory weren't making movies at the same time as doing that. But now you're seeing these Hollywood actors doing both. You look at the stars on shows that are on Apple TV, Kristen Wiig and Ricky Martin are in shows where you mentioned this monkey, Bad Monkey, Vince Vaughn. We're getting like big Hollywood actors that are doing shows with like Will Ferrell's been in a couple. Like so I think TV's improving quality, and the fact that TV has a longer life. You get a couple of seasons, or you get longer episodes, or you get to build characters. People are they're jumping the fence from movies to TV.
Yeah, they are.
So I think movies are kind of getting a bad rap. So I think they'll always be there, and they will always be popular. But I just think we're going to get less of them, which isn't a bad thing, because my aim of seeing 100 movies this year, by the time I finish it, I reckon I'll hit about 110 movies. I would say only 20 of them are probably going to be worth actually watching. The rest will probably just fillers. And I think that's the case. I think there's a lot of, we'll start to see those filler movies disappear. We'll start to get Hollywood blockbusters and probably horror films. I think they're the only ones that will continue to survive, because horror films, cheap to make a lot of money in comparison to what they cost. And they kind of by nature are dumb. Like, the person always goes into the room they shouldn't, and like something always happens. So it's like you don't need to pull it apart. It just is what it is. So I think they're the two genres that are going to be they'll probably will survive. Next question. Anything else you want to discuss?
I was thinking it might be worth doing a top 5, either in top 5 comedies or top 5 least liked actresses or actors.
Okay. I was thinking, what was our last top 5 in terms of years we did movie?
I believe that was 2003 or 2002.
2002. I know. Maybe the actors one might be easier. So, what do you want to do? Our top 5 actors at the moment, or of all time?
Least liked.
Least liked actors.
A bit more controversial.
Okay. You want to lead us off?
Okay. At number 5, least liked, I'm gonna go Zendaya. I personally don't see the charm of Zendaya. I haven't seen Challenges of the tennis movie that she's in, but I think she plays the same role in every single movie. And from those movies, I think she plays the same B in every role, and I just don't rate her as an actress.
Okay. I don't disagree. I feel very similar about Zendaya. I'm going to put her on my list somewhere. I'm going to go 5 as well, make it easy. I think she's a bit overhyped. I don't think there's anything special about her acting, and she kind of does the same resting bitch face in all her roles. So I personally don't rate her. I did like the Challenger movie, and I think her resting bitch face suited that movie, but she's kind of can only play one role, so it's not interesting to me.
Number 4, I am going to go Zac Efron. I haven't seen Iron Claw yet, so that's why it's not higher, but I personally didn't like the High School Musical movies. I didn't like the other movie that he was in, Ricky Nicky. I know I just haven't seen the charm to him yet, but I am looking forward to seeing the Iron Claw, and I know I just don't rate him as an actor as much, but I am looking forward to seeing the Iron Claw, and it might change my mind about him.
Okay. I strongly disagree with that. I would have Zac Efron in my top 5 actors, to be honest. my reasoning would be I think he kind of does them all. I think he does bro comedy well. You know, movies like Mike and Dave, Need Wedding Dates, Ricky Stenicki. He does that well. He's funny. Like, I think it works. He can sing and dance, as we saw in High School Musical. Yes, those movies are not for everyone, but they were so big at the time. So he can do it all. Pretty good looking bloke too. He's been in some action films. The Iron Claw is ridiculously good in, so he can do serious roles. He kind of does it all. I personally think he's one of the most all-rounded actors. I think maybe his good looks hurt him a bit because there's certain roles that he just looks too good to play. But yeah, I would have him in my top 5 actors of all time. So
That's why I still need to see the Iron Claw. It might change my mind about him.
yeah, I actually think my favorite roles with him are the ones where he's funny. I think Bad Neighbors and
Haven't seen those.
and I think Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates are so good.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite comedies. I really like Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. So I'm a big fan of Zac Efron. Number 4, I'm going to go kind of topical at the moment for this year. She kind of flopped. I'm going to go Dakota Johnson.
Oh,
So
from Madam Web.
Yeah,
She was terrible in that.
I just think she doesn't have an acting range at all. She doesn't speak well. She's dry. She struggles to promote her movies. And she's in some horrible films. Like Madam Web was trash. All of the 50 Shades of Grey's films are unwatchable. She just doesn't seem like she knows how to act. And I can only explain the fact of her stardom as she's a Nepo baby. Her family is, famous. And, if it wasn't for that, I just don't see her getting any acting role. Like, she's like okay looking too. So she's like, it's not her looks that got her there, and her acting is very, very subpar. So Dakota Johnson for me, I think is the fourth least favorite, or like overhyped actors, I think, or ones I don't really understand how they're there.
This might also hurt Luke, and my number 3 is Ryan Gosling. I just don't. I did like him in the Fall Guy, but I don't know. I just don't see how he's okay actor, but there hasn't been that one movie that I've gone, he's the man. Like, for example, Tom Cruise. He's done a lot of movies that I've gone, he's the man. There's a lot of other actors when I go, I would go to their movies to watch. Ryan Gosling, he's just not that actor that compels me to watch their movies. So that's why Ryan Gosling is at number 3.
Again, strongly disagree. I think Ryan Gosling's
I'm hurting your soul now.
No, I just don't. Sometimes I wonder if you just don't get movies. Because sometimes when you describe a movie, I'm like, were you watching the movie or not? Because your description's so off. So I actually think that Ryan Gosling's extremely talented. He's funny. He can play serious roles. He has a list of hit movies. He's kind of the go-to guy in Hollywood at the moment. So he's he's liked by a lot of people. So I think it's his comedy, and maybe you have a different taste in comedy. But
I think I do.
But Barbie,
haven't seen that.
Like, to play that character of Ken and to be that dumb, I think takes more skill than to play a serious character, because you can't take yourself serious where, being sad and broody and all these things, that's easy. Well, I wouldn't say it's easy, but trying to be so dumb and vague, like, I feel like that'd be harder to do. Like, so I really like Ryan Gosling. Number 3 for me, so I've gone Zendaya, Dakota Johnson. Actors that I think. I'm going to go Tom Cruise. I don't know if it's the Scientology thing about Tom Cruise, but besides Top Gun Maverick, not even the original Top Gun, I don't think I've really enjoyed a Tom Cruise film. Jerry Maguire, maybe.
Show me the money.
But yeah, and I know he does do action films, and they're not my cup of tea, but I'm kind of intrigued where his level of fame came from. And that's probably because a lot of his movies came out before my time. So I probably didn't see him become the superstar, only saw the after effects of, you know, the Mission Impossible films and Vanilla Sky and whatnot, where, you know, probably if you grew up in the 80s, you probably saw movies like Days of Thunder and Cocktail. And, you know, when people talk about Tom Cruise movies, they mention those two. And I just haven't seen those because they were well before my time. So maybe I just missed the boat on Tom Cruise. But I definitely don't see a movie with Tom Cruise and go, oh, I want to go see that. It kind of, I'm like, oh, I couldn't care less about Tom Cruise. So Tom Cruise at number 3.
Fair enough. My number 2 is Kevin Hart. I don't dislike him as a person, but I just don't see the appeal with him anymore. I think he's very oversaturated and very done now. I did like his show on Netflix called True Story, even though it wasn't a true story. But since that property, he's just he's a shallow self. He's a shallow version of himself. So yeah, number 2, Kevin Hart.
I feel the same about Kevin Hart with his films. I do think he plays the same role, but I've kind of really like him as a person. I've read one of his books recently, and he's a pretty good guy, and he's very motivational. He's very driven, and I guess a lot of the time you got to think we think he plays the same roles in movies, but ultimately they write a character and they go, you know what, Kevin Hart, you'd be the guy for it. So they kind of want him to be the same person. So it's not always his choice, but I do agree. I do think in his films, I think he's had his day. I think his comedy, when he first came onto the scene in movies, people are like, how good's this guy? Now it's like, if you see another movie with Kevin Hart, you go, okay, same character again. Like he's just doing the same thing. And he knows that too. So he wants to extend himself. One movie that I do think he showed really good acting range was so originally it was a French film, and then they remade it in English, and he gets hired to look after a man that's dying.
Oh yes.
I can't think of what it's called. That really showed his acting range. I thought that was very good, that film. Number 2, Kevin Hart adjacent. I'm going to go Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Again, I think he's had his day, and now it's kind of the same thing. I actually just think he's in bad movies now. I just really think that, which is odd because he doesn't need the money. He seems like a driven guy that wants to prove a point, but he seems to just be in the most rubbish movies time and time again. We recently watched the trailer for Red One, like this Christmas movie with him in it. It looks so bad, and I just don't understand why The Rock is doing this. Why a guy that's probably a billionaire at this point is bothering to make bad movies. Just don't. You don't do anything anymore. Just stop doing it. And then the fact that he then made that show, Young Rock, which I didn't dislike the show, but he just, when he was himself in that show, this whole idea that it was set in the future and he was running to be president, it was like, why do you prove this? This is so dumb. Like, couldn't you just had a retelling of his life story? So yeah, he does some weird stuff. So I'm going to go The Rock at number 2.
Me and Luke must be thinking alike, because my number 1 is Dwayne Johnson as well, and I'm to a point now when I think he's a great person and he's great for society, but I just hate his acting at the moment. And personally, I saw the trailer of the newest movie that he's in, and it looks absolutely rubbish. It has Chris Evans in it, and I don't understand why Chris Evans is wanting to be in this movie, but I just think they're trying to get cash money at this point, those two. So The Rock is my number 1.
I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what my number 1 is. I've gone through 4 and I can't think of 5. I'm going to quickly look up. You look up 35 most overrated actors, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Adam Driver's listed at number 1. I like Adam Driver. I think he's just in some bad movies. Ashton Kutcher, Benedict Cumberbatch. I could see that. Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, Daniel Day-Lewis, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Eddie Redmayne. He's not in that many things. That Harry Styles. Why would he even be on the list? Jesse Eisenberg, Jim Parsons, John Cena. John Cena's great.
I like him too. Yeah.
Justin Timberlake, Kevin Hart, Michael B. Jordan,
He's a good actor.
Pete Davidson. I see why he's on there. Ryan Reynolds, Steven Seagal. I was starting to think Timothée Chalamet until Wonka came out.
Yeah.
I really didn't like Timothée Chalamet, and I didn't understand the whole hype. But I did actually enjoy Wonka. It was pretty silly, but I'm gonna get Timothée Chalamet. I kind of have a bee in my bonnet about the whole Dune franchise, so I'm gonna say him. I think when I see films with him in it, I'm a bit hesitant to want to see it. I'm not saying he's the worst actor. Not saying I hate him as a person or an actor, but when I see him listed as on the cast as this new movie with Timothée Chalamet, I'm probably going to give it a miss. There's probably a few female comedians that I feel a bit the same about that I just don't have any time for, but they're not really in things anymore. Like I would have said someone like Ellen DeGeneres, but she's just apparently quit. As of the other I saw today, she said that she's no longer doing stuff. So she probably would have been on the list, but good riddance to Ellen DeGeneres. So yeah, I just get Timothée Chalamet.
Interesting list.
Yeah, it's a tough one trying to work out your 5 least favorite actors or overhyped or ones you're least excited about. So
what's your thought about my list, and what I'll give you my thoughts about your list.
Yeah, I can see why you picked those. There's obviously a genre movie that you do and don't like. I also think there's a lot of actors and movies out there that you just haven't watched and you dislike already. Like you refuse to watch Barbie, so it's like, which is like such a big movie last year. So it's hard to comment on some of these things if you haven't seen them.
Well, I was going to, and unfortunately I ran out of time, but I'll get it from the library.
Yeah. What do you think about my list?
I thought it was good besides having Tom Cruise on there.
I'm not saying he's not a bad actor. I'm just saying I don't get excited about anything that Tom Cruise is in now. Like besides the fact that Mission Impossible, which is already an established franchise, if a new movie was coming out tomorrow that was brand new and they said, Tom Cruise is starring in it, I don't think that's not a draw card for me. I don't go, oh, cool, Tom Cruise, I need to go see it. There's got to be a good movie if Tom Cruise is in it. It's like, not really. Like I don't think he's in that many good movies. And the Scientology thing's a bit off-putting and he's a bit odd. So, what was the other list you want to do?
Top 5 favorite comedies.
Favorite comedies. Okay, let's do it.
Do you want to start this time since I started off the first list?
It's a hard one. I almost want to work backwards.
Okay.
Favorite comedy of all time.
Top 5.
That's very hard because I kind of it's like, which is it? The one I quote the most? Is it the one that makes me laugh the most? Is it the one I've seen the most?
Yeah, this one's harder than the other one.
I'm gonna go. I used to really like. I'm gonna go safe, but I'm gonna go Happy Gilmore. It's my favorite comedy of all time
for movies.
Yeah. What about you?
Movie or starting off with number 5 for movies?
That's the same question. So I started with number 1.
Oh, number 1 for movies?
Yeah.
Oh. It'd be easier for TV shows. Movies. Meet the Parents or Meet the Fockers?
Yeah, it's a good comedy. I haven't seen that in a long time. So number 1, I went with Happy Gilmore. Number 2, I might go Anchorman 1.
Okay. I might go number 2. I might go Rush Hour.
Yeah, good choice. 3, I'll go Superbad.
Number 3, I will go Um, um, hmm. Comedy movies aren't as strong for me as it is for you. I'll go Anchorman.
Command. So number 4, I'm gonna go That's My Boy with Adam Sandler. One of his least popular movies, but I really, really like it. So yeah, that.
Number 4, I'll go I Love You Man.
Yeah, good choice. Number 5. I'm thinking I haven't put any movies in there that have Jason Segel or also from I Love You Man.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. This is 40 is all right. Knocked Up's funny. It's another Adam Sandler film. There's lots of maybe The Wedding Crashers.
Okay.
Yeah, thinking of Vince Vaughn. I really like The Wedding Crashers, so I'll put that number 5.
Number 5, I might go Forgetting About Sarah Marshall.
Oh, great choice. I really love that film. That'd be honorable mention then for me. Yeah, one of my favorite films.
That's when Jason Segel was really at his peak, and they loved showing him in the nude.
Yeah, that's one of the first scenes. Okay, so you want to do TV shows, favorite comedy TV shows or sitcoms?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start at 5 this time, work our way through, build some suspense. Okay, what do you got at number 5?
Number 5, The Big Bang Theory.
Bang Theory, solid. I'm going to go Workaholics.
Okay. Number 4, Seinfeld.
Number 4, I'll go The Office.
Okay.
American version.
Number 3, 12 Men.
Okay, number 3, I'll go How Much Mother.
Number 2, Friends.
Number 2, comedy shows I like. Do like The Big Bang Theory, but I don't know if I'd rewatch it. Seinfeld's okay. I'm gonna go Curb Your Enthusiasm
At number 2.
Mhm.
My number 1's Frasier.
Frasier, and then number 1 I've got Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Longest running comedy series of all time, and never ceases to be funny. So I've got that at number 1. Do we have any that crossed over?
No.
No. I obviously really like Seinfeld. I do like Friends, but I just don't think they're as funny as some. I'm not interested in watching them anymore. I think I've overwatched them.
How many times have you watched them?
Seinfeld maybe twice, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't really have any interest in that again. Friends, I don't know, countless amount of times. Never seen Frasier though. Big Bang Theory maybe 3 times. I think Big Bang Theory is funny, but it's like family funny.
Yeah.
I like something's a bit more obscene and crude. So that's why I find Always Sunny in Philadelphia funny. Okay. We're nearing the hour mark. Is there anything else you want to do before we wrap it up?
I guess, would you... What's your favourite movie of the year so far?
Iron Claw.
Iron Claw. And favourite show?
Probably Presumed Innocence. Extremely excited to watch The Bear, but I'm not going to start that just yet. So at the moment, Presumed Innocent. Yourself?
My favourite movie is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. My favourite show is probably Fallout.
Yeah, I'd really like Fallout. Yeah, maybe I do like that more than Presumed Innocent. So
Depends how Presumed Innocent ends, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, based upon ones that I've already finished, I'll go Fallout. But yeah, movie's definitely the Iron Claws. My favorite film so far. Probably the only film I could see overtaking it would be The Joker. Other than that, I think it's going to safely be my favorite film of the year.
Okay. Is there any, in a perfect world, what would be your top 3 favorite streaming services?
You always ask me this. You love talking about streaming services.
I do.
Netflix, Prime, Apple TV. You?
Apple TV Plus, Disney Plus, and probably Netflix.
Yeah, streaming is very expensive now to try and keep them all going. I'd say the most used streaming service I use is KO, but that's a sport streaming service. But yeah, it's getting more and more expensive, and people are cutting back to which ones they could live with or without. And at the moment, I'm only paying for Prime and Apple TV. Prime is part of my Amazon subscription for packages, and Apple TV is part of my overall Apple subscription. So beyond that, I'm not paying for any outside of that. So I don't spend any extra money on the other ones. And KO, I get that as part of my football club membership too. So try and keep costs down and not pay for as many. If you could only survive with one, what would you pick?
I would be happy with Apple.
You reckon you could, based upon the rate that they bring out content, you'd be happy if you could only start watching Apple?
Yeah. I would be very happy with their shows, but won't be watching a lot.
Yeah. So you don't think in the next week you would have binge watched everything on there you needed to see?
I guess so, yeah.
You'd be waiting a while. You'd be waiting a long time between drinks to see more content. Which I like Apple TV. I'm just saying that I don't think it could be your only one. My thought is that there's not enough content yet to get you entertained. Where at least Netflix and the others, they've got content that's not theirs. For instance, like Friends. If you're looking for something to watch, you could just go on there and watch the 10 seasons of Friends. There's just catalogs of past content where Apple TV is slowly building. For me, if I had to pick one, I'd probably just go Disney Plus. I think family movies on there, nothing's for everyone. Plus, it's got Always Sunny in Philadelphia on there, so there's a lot of cool stuff to watch on Disney Plus.
Do you see yourself ever watching more TV shows, or you find it easier to watch movies?
I think I'll watch more TV shows next year. I don't think I'll have a goal in mind, like I need to watch X amount of TV shows. I just think I'll try and quite often now at night, I'll just before bed I'll watch a movie. So instead I might watch 2 or 3 episodes of a show, and I reckon I'll get through quite a lot of shows next year, I'll see a lot that I missed out on. But I reckon what I'll do is instead of watching new shows, I might go back and watch old ones that I missed that people are like, oh, you should watch this. Okay, you should watch that. So,
like, what would be those shows?
Maybe something like the House of Cards. I've never seen House of Cards. I haven't finished Parks and Recreation. Finish off Curb Your Enthusiasm. I will not be watching
Game of
Thrones. It's not going to happen. Maybe finish off what's it? Not Arcos. It was the Jason Bateman one. The Ozarks.
Ozarks.
Might finish Ozarks. I just polish up a few shows that I wanted to watch, but maybe just dive into some of the the top 100 shows, like maybe Sopranos. I might watch the Sopranos, like things that people have, that have a big support base that I've just missed. So. Okay, we're just about to tick over the hour mark. Any final comments, or we'll see everyone in a week's time?
do you feel like there's any movies? Do you feel like this year was better for movies or last year?
Well, probably last year. I think there's probably more. I didn't watch as many, so I guess I only saw the things I wanted to see. Where this year I saw a lot of garbage. So I last year feels like it was better, but that's probably because I didn't watch bad movies. I only watched good movies. So what about yourself?
I think last year was better.
Yeah, this year, I know I'm not ever one that looks back and says, "Oh, well, it was better in the olden days." Like, you don't know. You can only base it upon what's happening in the current time. So I guess things always seem, grass seems greener on the other side. So my logic is I probably felt that last year was better quality because I saw less. Where maybe the top movies this year were better than the top movies last year. So, like, what was the best movie last year we saw? Was the Batman last year or was that the year before?
Year before.
What was the best movie last year, you reckon?
Last year, what did I have? Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I think.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know. I feel like I liked the Iron Claw more than those. So, don't know. Yeah. Don't know. It's a tough one.
Well, it's something to ponder over. As always, it's been an awesome live stream and hope you have a good rest of your day and weekend and see you in the next live stream. Bye-bye.